Hi guys, welcome back to Cosmic Hearts Healing. So great to have you back. Today I'm going to be sharing another um, sessions and stories with you. This one's going to really show you divine timing and syncs and signs, and the way that you can create more syncs and signs in your life is by knowing that it's a possibility. You have to have faith and trust, but you also have to clear out the negative within you to attract it better. Everything is the law of attraction, law of vibration. So the more that you clear out your karma, you see your patterns, you work on your, you tap into how you feel, and you learn how to break the patterns. If it's low energy, you work on your mind, work on growing spiritually. You will just create this fabulous flow in your life of like sync signs, divine timing. Also, what this will show you if you're a healer, or everyone's a healer, but whether if you're conscious of it or not, everyone is. My mom's been breaking family karma for years. She's the one who really first taught me how to do this, she always said, take what you like in life and keep it, and take things you don't like in life and change it. So that's basically breaking family karma. But if you're an energy healer, you can tap into the timelines, clear up the energy, release the cords, and then you break the karma by becoming conscious of what makes the pattern worse, what makes the pattern go on. You see it more clearly as an observer, and then you yourself can break the karma, but then it's up to other people around you to do the same thing, because everyone has free will in life. So as much as you do to try to break the family karma, it's not just up to you, since it's a whole family, it's up to everyone as a whole. So that's how you do it, by being the best you, by living in that love, compassion, understanding, independent, but you support, but you don't over support. You can't enable and anything like that. If someone's going through a rough time in your family, you want to support them, but you also need to keep your mind clear, because without you having a clear mind, you are just going to create more lower energy into it. Everything is energy. Everything is energy. So if someone in your life is going through a trauma or a tragedy, and you are just going to yourself mentally, emotionally fall into lower energies, you're not going to be adding positive energy to that, helping them. You're just going to push that all onto them, more of that energy onto them. It's just going to make every situation heavier, and I don't know. So whenever you are supporting someone, you should ask, is this, hold on one second. My dog wanted in, and someone wants to say hi. Hi. All right. Okay. I'm trying to think where I was at, because I was in my flow. Yeah, you just have to really think what energy you're adding to it. Are you supporting them in a healthy way for you and for them? Are you keeping a clear mind? Like, yes, if someone's going through something, you're going to feel it. But give yourself time to feel it, to process it, and then come back stronger than ever to help them out. Okay, so back in, I think it was April, I was on Facebook, and I was looking through people to add. And I was really drawn to this one person. So if someone asks me to be their friend and I get this energy of like, whoa, don't accept that, then I won't accept that person. But from time to time, I go to see if I should add someone. And even though I may not know you, if I feel pulled in to add you as a friend, then I will. So I added this person as a friend. And I was watching his post, and it became known to me that he was an advocate for someone who struggled with drinking and drugs when he was younger. He's close to my age. So at 21, he fell into this bad drinking. Well, he started off as fun, but then it just became like an everyday habit for him that he had to break. So now, since he's broke his karma, he's trying to help other people do this as well. So I was just drawn to his posts, and since he's a healer, some of the things that he would say, he would just explain it in like a scientific way, which mine is just by what I feel, what I know, what I sense, what I learn. I don't really tap into like the science end of it, trying to read to explain why it works. I just know what works because it's what I've lived and it's what is brought to me. So it's really cool to hear him in the way that he explains it from the science aspect, because he explains it in a way that everyday people can understand. And that is what I've been taught to do. Like, just break it down, break it down, break it down. So I was at my work desk end of April, and all of a sudden I was up at work, and I started to feel really dizzy. I was like, oh my God, what is this coming from? Like, what is going on? Why do I was just all spaced out? And I was like, I had to sit down. So that was around 10 a.m. So at lunchtime, I log online, and I see a post from him saying that he was in some type of accident. He had a concussion, and he doesn't know what to do. So if ever I see a post about that, I will say things like, maybe it would be good to see an energy healer. Not to come see me, but to see someone. Like, if you've been knocked unconscious and your head is spinning and your energy is off, coming to an energy healer to help settle that down, to make it not off anymore, would be helpful. So a lot of times healings come to me. So I knew at that point that if I didn't help this man, I was going to be spinning dizzy. And so and he seemed open to my comment, and then I inboxed him, and I was just like, hey, I know that you are asking to schedule with me, but I have to do this like now. So I was at lunch, I was trying to work on it, and then after work I was actually doing a healing for him. So that was at the end of April. My son was turning 21 in June. I don't remember the whole timeline of everything, but at one point between that time, from May until June, I woke up in the middle of the night, 4 a.m. in the morning, like I have to do a healing for drug addiction, drinking, and everything like that. So, of course, I thought of my son because he's 21 and he's going to be having fun and hanging out with his friends. And then I thought of that guy on Facebook. And the way that I do my healings is I always send it out to anyone connected to me. I don't just focus on the one person. Like, yes, they're getting like most of the healing, but after I focus on the person, I ask, even if I continue to clear for like 3 days, I want to clear this for whoever. So that would be all of my relatives who had struggled or are currently struggling, any of my loved ones, and anyone else, friends, family, you know. So I did the healing from like 4 a.m. to 5, and then I dozed back off until I had to get up for work. And then that morning I woke up and I see this man's post, the one who I did the healing for before. He's talking about when he was 21 years old, how it started, and, you know, he's just sharing his truth. And I was like, wow, so maybe that was for him, you know, like, I know this is what he always does, but for him to be tapping into how his abuse first started, and I'm trying to work on stopping that abuse, whatever. So then I think it was around lunchtime, I had taught a Reiki 2 class within that time frame too. So someone from that class reached out to me, and she was going through some struggles with someone close to her. So we were talking, and I was like, do I tell her about the healing that I just did the night before at 4 o'clock in the morning? Do I not tell her about this? So I did not tell her right away. I talked to her, heard her, because the most important thing that you can do for someone at that time is just listen, just be there, try to support, and just hear. So then later on that night, I explained to her what I would do if I was in this situation, ways to help her and him. I did a healing for him, but during that time, she sent me a photo of her son. Now, as I told you in one of my previous videos about the spiritual bond that I have with someone. So she sends this picture of her son, and I was like, wow, that looks a lot like how the person I have the spiritual bond with would look when he was 21, like just from seeing his photos online. I was sat there with like my jaw dropped for a minute. So I was like, lately somehow I've been drawing in a lot of healings that somehow have to do with him. So I was like, maybe his bloodline too also struggles with this. So then when I was doing the healings, I was trying to work on his bloodline, my bloodline, and of course the client's, the client himself, and all that. So then a couple weeks go by. My son is just being 21, having fun. This woman who reached out to me said that her son had made the decision the day after I did the healing that he needed to change his life, that he needed a new life path, new lifestyle. So he's trying to find his way, and everyone has to find their own way of healing. Just because the way that I healed doesn't mean that that's the way that he will heal. So he's trying to find his way. And then she said her son's name, and it happens to be the same name as the person I had the spiritual bond with. So not only does he look like him, but he has the same name as him. So I did a few healings, and I only charged her for one because knowingly, I'm not only doing this for her, her and her family, I know I'm doing it for others. So if I'm doing 3 or 4 healings, I'm not going to put all that on her. So I thought that it would be fair for only one time, even though he got 3. So after that, I had another client reached out to me, and she lost her son at 21. It's fresh, it's recent. So I had to do that healing. I had to comfort her. I had to tell her that she did the best she could. I had to talk about codependency, enabling, because she was worried about her not doing enough. And I was like, no, because if you overdo, and I explained to her how I view enabling and codependency. And I was like, you can only do so much. Don't put that shame and guilt on you. It's not up to you. If you were supporting him in the best way that you could and you thought you did everything, don't regret anything that you are going through. And then, it just really showed me step by step it just showed me different layers of how, the same karma can affect everyone. Because my son's trying to keep it balanced at 21. He is going through some things that's helping him keep that on path. And that's why, when I do healings and I pray for people's highest good, sometimes things come up in their life to show them, hey, wake up. I don't wish bad on to anyone, never would. But if the universe feels like someone needs a wake-up call to snap out of something or snap, to get them back into alignment, that's sometimes what happens. No healer does that on purpose. It's just we send healing to what, I want to heal my family karma. I'm doing my work by breaking the codependency, by not enabling, by supporting, being compassionate, understanding. bringing only higher love light energy to, you know, his current age in life. I'm having understanding for where he's at, and, you know, everything like that. So I'm doing my work. So when I send it out to the universe, what the universe decides to do, it's not up to me. If a slight, small wake-up call is in order to help shift him to a healthier way of being 21, then that's what happens. Because I had a healer come to me, and she's just like, I was doing a healing, and now this is going on in this person's life, and this is going on in this person's life. And I'm like, no, you didn't do it. Like, you are actually helping them have a wake-up call, is what I would call it. And, you know, sometimes people have to learn a harder way, you know, and that's up to them to learn. Like, they can either see the lesson and try to process it sooner, which is something that I'm trying to be more aware of, trying to find ways to see what I need to learn and grow, and how I need to shift before I get that hard wake-up call, you know. But until you're in your flow and you're fine and you can see your karma, or you can see the life lessons, sometimes it takes that hard wake-up call, you know. So yeah, that's a little bit about family karma, syncs and signs. You can see how the patterning just is happening, and it's still continuing. I'm still working through this. So I'm not sure when it will end, when, you know, I don't know if I'll attract more clients in about this, but yeah. So I just wanted to share that. That's a little bit about my sessions and stories, and everyone have a great day. I love you. Bye.